Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
The Game of Ham is an adult party game, and it was sent to me for review. It's one of those adult party games you're going to pull out when everybody wants to be a little bit naughty. Kind of has that Cards of Humanity vibe to it. The game is super simple to understand, super simple to play, and a lot of the fun you're going to be bringing to the game. Now, the rulebook was a little bit hard for me to get through, only because it has so many different ways to play, and I really wasn't sure which way was the intended way to play. You can play with just the cards, just the board, the cards and the board. You kind of mix them all together. And there's some variants that go on. So the game probably isn't going to become stale, and it'll probably have a lot of replayability for you, as there's a lot of different ways to play it as you're going through the game. I think that's going to make it a little bit more appealable for most people. Now, you can play this game just for laughs, and that's what this game is going to be played for. It's one of those, like, I'm being naughty and you're going to be laughing games. This is one of those games that you want to bring out either when you have friends over who like party style games, not so much heavy Euro games, and something you might bring out at the end of the night to kind of leave everybody on a high note with a good laugh. This game definitely does that, and there's definitely that whole apples to apple judging of the answers that are going on here. For me, I found this to be a fun little party game. I'm not really into these games very much, but this one, because of the darker humor, the more adult humor, definitely kept me interested versus some of the other games that would be on there. But notice that this game is not for children whatsoever. So the Game of Ham is something that I think that I would use as parties. If I had the right crowd, I'd bring it out. For me, I'm going to be keeping this game. I don't have a lot of games like this in my collection. I don't know if I would have necessarily got it off the shelf and played it, but I am glad I did because it was pretty funny, and we had some of those big moments in the just laughter and being stupid and being silly at the end of the night that you look forward to. So this one that might actually end up being in my kind of realm of play, in a circle of play that I might end the game night with, so I was very happy for it in that regard. Game of Ham. This is an adult game, so as you look at it, you're going to have the artwork, 911, the tattoo, the ham. It's a pretty heavy box, believe it or not. It's very nicely made. Inside, you're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a quick start guide for the first time you play. These are going to be the boards that you're going to play on. They're actually pretty nice quality. You're going to get these hams that you're going to have set out. Very nice cardboard. And then just a ton of cards. So the pink cards are what you're going to play. The players are going to play. And they're going to have funny things on it. Abducting people and forcing them to fight in a death in a gladiatorial combat. And then you're going to have these white cards that you'll have. The cards are pretty good quality. Game of Ham. These will be the prompts that you have. Nothing will leave me more jolly than blank and taking Molly. And you're going to have numbers that you can move on the bottom. The cards are okay. They're mass market. Pretty good. Not too shabby. And you're going to get these little small tokens that you'll be moving around the board. I kind of bagged them all up there. But you'll put them on here and move them around. The components are pretty good. This is actually an adult game. Components are fine. The box is super sturdy. Love this box. Great job. So here's the quick start rule that you're going to have for the first time players. It's to get you set up and get you moving. So the first time you play, you take a single page, read it 5 minutes or less, and it's just this, and you'll be ready to go. And then when you come in, okay, so this is where the book is going to get a little bit crazy. There's going to be a ton of ways to play. This game is all about the humor, so you can pretty much make it however you want. And there's some overviews of what some of the cards do, and then once you jump in, you can play with just the cards and have some laughs, just the board and the cards. There's some mandatory rules that you're going to have, different win conditions you can set up, and it's really just a means. This game is all about having fun. It's not about getting tripped up on rules, and when you're playing through it, this does a good job of giving you direction. So if you don't like playing with something else, look, people over 21 or over, you're going to have, the color cards explanation. So it's going to be a very flexible game as you're going through. That's a plus for this style of game. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of how to play. Generally speaking, you're going to pick 4 of these boards, and they'll be set out as you're going. And one of the ways that you can win is you start on the white spot, and you would make your way all the way to the finish. And one of the ways you can play, there's a bunch of different ways to play, is that when you win one of these gray cards, I'll explain how you win. There's a 4 and a 9, and that's how many spaces that you can move. You pretty much move any direction you want. You just can't go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But when you win a gray card, it'll be down here on the bottom. You can choose one of these numbers. There's even a variant where you can add them together and move if you want. Very flexible game if you want. And that's how these boards will be moving around. The numbers you land on will give you how many spaces you can move sometimes. And then these will tell you what cards that you'll pick up which I'll show you what those do in a while, but this is just a little board that you're moving across. But generally speaking, you're going to have these gray cards that whoever's going first will give these prompts. This one just says you can create any prompt you want. What's the first thing graduates do after they graduate? An attempt to rally new recruits. ISIS now bribes members with blank for every bombing. The evening was ruined when it was discovered the date was really blank in disguise. What will definitely kill you? When police got to the crime scene, they found that blank was the cause of death. And what the other players will be doing is they'll be taking the pink cards. Everybody will have 10, and they can put funny things out. A herd of bronies. Becoming Kardashian. So when police got to the crime scene, they found out that becoming a Kardashian was the cause of death. So you could do that. Forgetting your kid's birthday, an abundance of daddy issues, hiding the evidence, putting LSD on a sugar cube. So these are all meant to be humorous as you're playing. Everybody would put them down. You shuffle them up, whatever they picked. Let's do a couple here. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll shuffle them up. Let's get a new prompt. China's newest national holiday celebrates, and then whoever the judges will pick what he thought was the funniest. Becoming a Kardashian, putting LSD in a sugar cube, grandma wearing a strap-on, O.J. Simpson's bloody glove, and then if you're able to win this, then you would move that many spaces on the board. On the back of this, there are cards that spell ham, H-A-M. If you have one of those, it can be used as a block for other cards. As the game progresses on the spot, you can earn these cards. This says force one player to sit out a trick. Force two players to sit out a trick. Bonus target's piece to the last white bound space they pass. Force the judge to pick another card. So you can play these. If you have those if you have enough of those gray cards that spell out ham, then you'll be able to block one of these that we'll be using. So these will be kind of like take that cards that you can win and then utilize during the game. Who should buy this game? This is for adults only. No children need apply. This is for people who don't mind being a little bit naughty or, having those puns or having wordplay that might be a little bit on the naughty side. And it should be something that's be a party game aspect, There's a couple different ways. It can be a little bit more strategic based on which of the versions that you're going to play. There's a lot of little different variants to keep it fresh and open and kind of keep things moving. And it's going to be people who like humor. If you like humor in your games and you want some of that naughtiness in it, this will definitely strike that chord for you. Game of Ham, it's a very, very funny game and one I will recommend to you as a keeper. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.